Hey, Mompreneur, are you running on coffee, passion, and maybe a little chaos? I'm Sandra, founder of Encounter Your Potential, and I know your life is a masterpiece of messy moments and massive goals. This is Power Your Mompreneur Potential. We sit down with CEOs, founders, and fellow moms to steal their best secrets for boosting productivity, conquering mom guilt, and keeping your fire alive in both business and family. Stop surviving and start thriving. Let's get into it. Hey, mamas. It is so good to be back and back for another episode. And this time we are having girlfriend conversations with a longtime mommypreneur, Vanessa Ray Roark. I've known Vanessa, well, we won't actually tell you how long we've known each other because we're young. We're young ladies. But it's been a minute. And it's also been a minute since we caught up, and we were having conversations before we actually started the formal conversation for you all. And already it is so good. And I'm excited to learn more, but really just catch up and then also be able to share some of our catch up with all of you. So let me tell you a little bit about Vanessa. Vanessa is in Phoenix, Arizona. We did meet in New York. We were young, wild, and free. Actually, just young and free. Wild is for interpretation. So I don't know where the mind goes with that one. So we were just young
Right.
in New York, both in the media marketing world. And now she is doing real estate. She is a top, okay? She is top at the top in the real estate space in Phoenix, Arizona. She's also investing in real estate. She has Airbnbs, and she can tell us all about that in just a moment. But in addition to that, so impressive to me, she is a mommy of three. I am just trying to survive the day as a mommy of one for less than 2 years. And she is a mommy of three. But in addition to that, she is a whole beautiful person. I remember vividly Vanessa just being such an image of a woman, an elegant woman. And she is still that. And she has been telling me a few things that she's implemented into her life strategy to keep it all together. So, Vanessa, welcome. I am excited for our conversation today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited that we connected. I've always admired your aura and energy as well. And I know that you are just pumping out nothing but value in this for your watch viewers. So I'm just so honored to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you. We are pumping out the things, okay? So before we get into the mommy conversations, tell us a bit about the professional you in Phoenix. You are in the real estate space, but not just that, you are killing it. So tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you're doing out there.
Yeah. So I would just say that honestly, I'm just me. I
Yes.
love to just create a life that feels authentic and true. And I'm very, very big on just attraction.
Mm.
And so while I've built a business this year, I looked up and I was like, oh, wow, I'm like top 1% of Arizona realtors for Q1 and Q2. But it's not like I was
Just
hustling,
another day, just, nothing. Top 1%, y'all. Naturally, easily.
but you attract that. And the way that you attract that, honestly, is just being open to serve. So I consider myself someone who is just open, looking to serve, looking to be authentic, looking to add value. And I just happen to be a mother, a realtor, and I just happen to be an Airbnb host. And it's so funny if I
Mhm.
think about how I even got into real estate. I'll tell you a little story, but I was at a park and there was this
Mm.
girl, and I had my three kids, and my three kids are very close in age. So now they are 10, 8, and 6. So if you can
Wow.
imagine, when I'm at the park when they're all not yet in school, I've got a little crew going. So we've got the wagon
Mhm.
and all the snacks, and I see a little girl and she's on the playground. And she's like, "Mom, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry." And I see mom, she's like, "Oh crap, I don't have a snack." And so I'm like, "Oh, hey, do you want this apple?"
Mhm.
And I gave her the apple. The woman I gave this apple to, she changed the entire trajectory of my family, our wealth,
Mhm.
how we were able to grow. I gave her this apple, and the woman and I, we just started talking. It wasn't like she was, you know how you kind of get judgy as a mom when you're at the park? You're
Mhm.
like, oh, does she look like she moms the same way I do? Does she?
Mhm.
It was nothing like that. We were complete opposites, but we just connected and talked, and we just had a really good connection, really good conversation. And she started sharing with me about how she was able to stay at home and still bring income in for her
Mhm.
family. And that was through Airbnb. And at the
Mhm.
time, I had a property that was renting out long term in Georgia. We used to live in it, and then we just rented out to a tenant. And she inspired me to create, my first Airbnb property. And if I wouldn't have met her, there's so many people. When I got into real estate, I got into it to create freedom for other people and other families. I wanted them to learn how to, like, the average Airbnb income is like $50,000 a year, right? So if there's a family and they can just inject another 50K into their lifestyle when you have a
Right.
baby, that's everything. I mean, our
Mhm.
childcare, all the costs of raising children nowadays, they're ridiculous. So my main goal was to create freedom for other families when I got my real estate license. And
Mhm.
there's so many people that I met that were like, "Hey, Vanessa, if we wouldn't have met you, if it hadn't have been you, we wouldn't have been here." And so I just really love to live my life in a way where I know that I'm serving and I'm open, right? Because you have to kind of be open. You don't know where God is going to lead you or what opportunity is next.
Mhm.
But as long as you can keep that just open servant attitude, I think that you attract.
Right.
So when I tell you, like, I goal set a little bit, right? But like
Mhm.
I just am like here. I'm here and I'm attracting. And I think that's the difference when you're a mother and you're a business owner. There's a surrender that happens. My kids are my priority, and that's
Correct.
okay. And
Mhm.
when you can accept that surrender, you just start to attract business. So I am all about attraction. Yes, you have to hustle. Yes, you work hard. Yes, I have long days. And sometimes I'm up 4 a.m. working, and, sometimes it goes all night. So I'm not eliminating the hard
The
work,
hard work. Yes.
but you're not really making impact if you're not able to lead from that authentic place. And I just think when you're building your life as a mother, it's just crucial. You can't skip that.
Wow. Okay. So so much in that. And I love that you're just open to receive because it all started with an apple. And somebody else could find themselves in a similar situation. They see someone struggling a little bit, knowing, you were there with your three kids, so you're not short of anyone who might be in need of that snack. And you could have just like not said a thing, but you offered what you had to someone and they were able to gift you with so much more, which I call the multiplier effect. Like, just you never know where a simple conversation, a simple hello, or just openness to people and to life and to energy can take you. And that is such a good example of that.
Yes. And when I tell you this woman, Kelly, she literally just texted me last night. She's one of my best friends. She's so amazing. We're very different, but just aligned in our
Mhm.
values, like in our core values. And I think when
Mhm.
you accept that, like, every mother is going to be different. Every mother is going to mother different from you. But if you find your people that have that core value, you can really grow and sharpen each other in motherhood. And I just really adore her. She's one of those moms that has, like, if you come over to her house, she's got a scavenger hunt for the kids and a tea party and
Wow.
a bunny, and her
Mm-hmm.
house is just curated for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my house is kind of like, oh, do kids live here?
Right, right, right. Okay, so that is so interesting because what plays in my mind often, and you said something like looking at other moms and like not so much judging, but coming to the conclusion as to like their type of what type of mom they are. I'm totally type A, but I'm like you where like at the end of the day, once DJ is up and sleeping, I clean up everything. You would not know that a toddler was just like having a good time like 30 minutes ago because for me, everything has its place. Whereas I know another mother who, similar to Kelly, she curates, like, she comes up with like the best game and fun ideas and it don't care how her house look, but it's a fun day and the kids are having a good time and she's just in it. So I do see that, but I also am very aware. I'm like, I am that type A mother. I like for everything to be in place. And I think for my own sanity, I need for things to be organized as well.
Yes, that's so important. I'm so glad there's people like you in the world because honestly, I'm the hot mess express mom. I just met there's not toys everywhere. I kind of have limits on toys, but I love that you are, that's who you are. And that adds value to so many people's lives. And there's absolutely so much that your child needs from you to thrive because God handcrafted you to be your child's mother. So your child probably needs that in you. Whereas
I
my
don't see you
child,
as a hot mess express mom, which I've never heard before, but hot mess express, but your decor is all like the house is set.
I would just say, okay, so my house is it's set, but I'm just very minimal on toys because I get
I
overstimulated.
see.
So
Okay, so you
like
don't need the blues and the pinks. Like there's a color tone.
there's a color tone and then there's a closet and there's boxes. And like I'm not gonna lie, one of my kids' toys, majority of them right now are actually in the garage of one of my Airbnbs. We just cannot
Mhm,
have so much
mhm.
chaos.
So what do? Are they just not using those toys anymore? Are they just there sitting?
We're not using those toys right now.
Okay, it's time
Try
for
to
donation, or you cycle them out, like to.
recycle them out. And we just give them different activities. So
Mhm,
I'm more of like an activity mom. I'm a mom
mhm.
that's like, okay, we're going to the museum, we're going to
Right.
this, we're gonna
Mhm,
experience this. Like just this weekend, like we're going to chess club tonight, and then Saturday they have a dance class, and Sunday they're gonna
mhm,
go to church, and then they're gonna go skydiving with
mhm.
their friends. So it's just to me, I just love experiences with children. But it's
Oh,
like
that is good.
other moms, they might love something else. And I think that's
Mhm,
one of the things that I've learned as I matured in motherhood is just like that's perfect for them. And that
mhm,
doesn't mean that like I can't add value to her life and she can't add value to mine. I just don't
mhm,
like when people kind of disqualify based on how you
mhm.
live and parent. I
Yeah,
just
I'm so open to that though because so last weekend we visited with a business owner slash mommy friends of mine, and her Saturday plan became our Saturday plan. We're gonna go to the Children's Museum. And not until we hung out did I think, oh, I need to curate our weekends better because sometimes I'm just happy to have a day at home, but maybe DJ needs another experience. So I'm like, okay, I need to be better about planning these weekends. And I was just inspired by her ability to think outside the box. And she explores different children's museums in the area. And I was like, that's such a good idea. I can do that too.
yes, I love that. It's just inspiration is everything.
Yeah. Okay. So you met Kelly and it started with an apple. You shared a snack and then she put you on to this whole Airbnb experience. So how many Airbnbs are you up to now? Because you're a super host.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a super host. So right now we just
Mhm.
have two. We used to have
Mhm.
and I'm actually leaning towards PadSplit now, which is a completely different model, similar to Airbnb, but it solves a lot of problems with affordable housing right now. In
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, where I am, it's it's pretty expensive to live. And so
Mm-hmm.
PadSplit offers furnished room rentals, but it's all managed in an app. So that's kind of like where I'm headed now, as Airbnb's gotten more saturated and more expensive. But
Mm-hmm. Is that like co-living, pad splits?
pretty much, yep.
Okay. Yeah, I do know someone in Brooklyn who has a co-living business and
Mhm.
she modeled it after co-working, but her particular audience are business owners. So imagine you're in startup mode and maybe you're raising funds and you hear the stories of people living on people's couches for a few months while they're growing their businesses. And she's like, well, why not create co-living spaces just like there's co-working spaces? So she has a brownstone in Brooklyn where she has all these entrepreneurs just like brewing ideas and creating amazing things. But they get to live in a brownstone in Brooklyn that's furnished and looks really beautiful.
I love that. Yes, like there's so many content homes and engineer
Mhm.
homes. And
Content
when is the
homes.
mom home coming? That's what I don't know.
Ugh.
Kind of have an itch for that. I
Mhm.
want to see the mom home. I want to see the home of it's built with moms with childcare.
Mhm.
And it's just curated specifically for single mothers. I
Mhm.
think that would be beautiful. So
Oh, that is something, especially with women now, more and more women deciding, oh, I'm going to do this on my own because I may not have a significant other. That might be a whole pocket of a situation there.
yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned. I'm gonna work on that one.
All
Um,
right. So we'll be back here in another year or two, and we'll be talking about this concept.
yeah, I mean, I love that, right? Because I think at the end of the day, you just have to create experiences for others where it's really gonna add value to their life.
Mhm.
If you can do that, then you can, make it in business.
hmm Okay, so let's go back to Airbnb and just real estate, helping you to create freedom and helping you to create the life that allowed you to mother and to be present for your children in the way that you desired. And I love it that you say your children are your priority because what I am learning in motherhood and in connecting with other moms is that what we all prioritize is very different. So I say motherhood is my ministry. It is my number one job and my number one role at this point in time. I am lucky that I started my business way before I entered this motherhood journey. So it's almost like I prepared myself to be here, but I know that's not everyone's journey. Sometimes the kids come first, and then you have to create space for you to prioritize your children. So, was your journey almost the opposite, where you had the kids first and then you created the ecosystem?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Hmm
I had kids and had no plan and just like, oh, this feels right, and oh, I want more. I'm a feeler, so yeah,
hmm
definitely was not like 100% financially prepared and ready to, be a mother. I just knew that
hmm
that was what I wanted and more than
hmm
anything, and so went for it. And
hmm
God provided. So
Yeah. Okay, that's a whole nother mindset too, to because and what I got from you during the time was that, oh, you were ready to be a mom. I am going to do this. And I just remember you being so in love with your husband, where you're like, I'm gonna have all his babies. Remember, like a specific comment from you, like, oh, I'm just gonna just keep having all his babies. So you were just madly in love and focused on having children, and then the business side of you came later.
yeah, and it's funny because it's like when because I really do live in a way where every day I wake up and I am in worship and I'm in prayer. And so
Mhm,
I do feel like God will tell me things. And when I tell you, God put in my heart when my son was 2. And
mhm,
I tell you, I prayed for a son. I was one of those people where I really wanted a son. Just please, girls, don't
But
be
you
upset.
already but you already had your girls.
I had 2 girls. I really wanted a
Mhm.
boy, and I had the boy. Don't shame me in the comments. It's just something I always dreamed about when I was a little girl.
Mhm.
Um,
There is no shade or shame in that. I really wanted a little girl, but I have a little boy. I don't think I prayed enough. But I love my little boy. He's everything.
right.
I can't return to sender.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, after I had the boy, I was like, "Wait a minute, like, give me all the girls." But, so that's how you know, like, God is in control, he knows what we need. But, I kept getting this feeling like God was telling me like, "Oh, get your real estate license." And it was
Mhm.
something that I knew I was gonna do, but when I tell you I was very ingrained in my children, like, we're making sourdough bread and we're
Mhm.
breastfeeding extended, like, so there was conflict there. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. My son's not in preschool. These are his formative years. I need to do that. I need to stay focused on what I'm doing. And I'm not going to do that. And I wrestled with it.
Mhm.
And finally, there was another mother. She had this business called Modern Milk. And basically, it was a coffee shop with childcare built in. So they had a coffee shop, private offices, co-working, and childcare.
Mm.
And so I went to this coffee shop one day. I saw it and I was like, you know what? This could actually work. I could get my real
Mhm.
estate license. And so when I saw that, I was kind of in that, wrestling stage, but then seeing that another mother, she had like 2 young little boys, which were super rambunctious. But she had opened this business. It was absolutely beautiful. I was so inspired by it. I was like, you know what? Like, what a disservice would I be doing if I didn't take advantage of what this woman has created? Because it was a huge opportunity, because at the end of the day, when you have multiple children, and I had 3, somebody's working. I
Somebody
wasn't
has
able
to work.
I wasn't able just to be like, "Hey, watch my kids while I get my real estate license." So when I saw that, I went after it, got my real estate license, and when I tell you God blessed it, my very first year, I mean, I was rookie of the year and made a really wonderful income, won a lot of awards my very first year, and that's how I know it was nothing but him. That second year, I did end up having to homeschool because of, I don't know, COVID and all the drama, but it was still a wonderful revenue stream for me, even though I kind of put it on pause. So I think it's okay as a mother to
Mhm.
just flex. Like there's times where you'll realize
Mhm.
I want to be 100% there for my kid. There's nothing else I want to do outside of curate this lifestyle for them, and that's okay. And then there's other times where you're like, you know what? I'm gonna lock in and go hard, and it's okay too. And I think that there's
Mhm.
so many just thoughts that you have as a mom where you're just limited in your belief on like, okay, I have to pick one or the other. And there is truly room to have both, in my opinion, if you can master your mindset, right? So
Mhm.
if you can just like start dreaming, write it down, write down exactly what you want your life to be with a pen and paper, not in your phone, and then create space for pleasure in your life. Start thinking about how can I make this day to day more enjoyable
Mhm.
while you have your dream life curated and written down. I truly believe that all of it will just start falling into place because how on earth was I wrestling with that decision to get my real estate license or not? And then this woman created this amazing business right down the street to facilitate it happening.
You are a master of just attracting the things that you need when the time is right.
Oh,
When
yeah.
the time is ripe for you to also explore, because already in a short period of time, you sharing how you met Kelly. Now you're meeting this woman with the coffee shop with like, first of all, how can I franchise that? Like, we need that out here, because I remember even in my early journey, I signed up for a gym that had childcare just so I could work out. Because how else can I leave the house and take the kid with me other than going to a gym where he could come along with? So these are just like, what are the things that moms need, the amenities that moms need in order to like make life happen? Because life shifts once you have attachments that come along.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, the reason I went to that coffee shop is because I had three kids screaming in the back seat and I needed a little bit of sanity. So I'm like,
Mhm,
oh, what is this? Let's go over here and get a little
mhm,
matcha. And then I
mhm.
noticed, oh my gosh, let me tell you, this woman, she did it. So you could even get your nails done there. She had an esthetician, she had a nail shop, it was heaven sent, right? And so I think
Mhm.
that it's very important that you realize that this the stage of motherhood that you're in, even if it's chaotic, stressful, you have to create moments of pleasure for yourself as a mother. Whether that means you're driving around because the kid will only nap in the car and you listen to your
Right.
favorite song. For me, if anybody knows Tony Jones, that is my woman. Her grown woman affirmations music
Yeah.
carries me through.
Oh,
Um,
I'm gonna have to check that out. So Tony Jones, so tell me about your Tony Jones moments.
so she has a song called Energy Budget, and it's basically just giving yourself permission to, set boundaries, understand who you are as a divine being. And
Mhm,
it's just really inspirational. I think when you're going through the trenches of motherhood where you are stretched, you're giving your all, you're deprived, you
mhm,
need those supplements, and you need those moments of pleasure. So for me, it's been affirmation music. For me, it's been um, supplements. I'm very, very huge on, like, when I wake up, I am taking my black seed oil, I'm doing lemon
mhm.
water, I'm doing digestive enzymes for my gut health so that my mind can function. I have
Right.
different stress relief like ashwagandha, maca,
Same.
all the things that
Mhm,
are going to help with that hormone and high stress cortisol
mhm.
balancing. I am going to do that. I'm not going to let the baby wake up and let them dictate
Runs your
where
day.
things are going. And I think once
Mhm,
you as a mom can just harness the power of understanding that you still need pleasure, life
mhm.
will start to flow a lot better for you as a mother, in my opinion.
Oh, you are my kind of girly, because I'm all about it. I'm all about the supplements. What I've started doing is making my protein shakes at night, so that I make 2 bottles so that the next day, depending on how the day starts, I'm ready and I have my fuel. But I put in I've never really, thought whether I was pronouncing it right, the ashwagandha, the maca spirulina, like my serving of greens and fruits and then plant-based protein, and I mix up that bad boy and I'm ready to go. But then I have all the energy that I need also to get me through a good portion of the day before I need to refuel again.
Yes. And that's so important. Like you have to
Mhm.
model that because your kids need to see that.
Right. Okay. So, you look like, I've been sharing this one because I was caught off guard after receiving this compliment. Someone shared with me, "You look like you love yourself." And I was like, "Oh, that is good. I will receive that."
Yeah.
But you look like you love yourself, and from what you're telling me, you treat yourself well, from the inside out.
Oh, yeah.
But you were telling me about some other mommy things that you have done in order to show up in the world like you love yourself. So tell us about some of your, like, I got 3 kids, but I don't want y'all to look at me like I got 3 kids.
Yes. I mean, I love a good hack, and there's always a way to do something
Mhm.
better, and I'm always open and looking for advice from other people. One of the things that I absolutely am obsessed with right now, it's a workout place called Body 20, and Body 20 will get your body looking like you've been
You're
doing
20? Like you're
20.
20?
Hey, keep my body looking like I'm 20, without any surgery, and no knock to anybody that does that, but with Body 20, I feel like you can avoid it. Um,
Mhm.
I've had diastasis where your abs kind of separate, and Body 20, you go in, you put a suit on, and it is EMS technology. It activates your muscles. So essentially, it's giving you
Mhm.
the equivalent of 2 hours of powerlifting in the gym in 20 minutes. And you're doing this little workout for 20 minutes with a trainer, and then you're done. And when I tell you, it kind of zips those little intercostal muscles right back up in the abs. So Body 20 is amazing to me. That's one of my hacks. I would
I'm
also say,
signing up immediately.
yes. And another thing
Mhm.
is like, making sure that you're seeing a pelvic floor specialist. If you've
Mhm.
had a baby, there's no reason that you have to suffer. I had a C-section, a home birth, and a natural birth. And so when I would jump on the trampoline, you know,
Yes.
sometimes you feel a
Which
little,
is normal, normal. I had a
oh,
recent conversation with a urologist, and she was just putting into perspective that these are such common things, but it's just so taboo to talk about it. But first of all, our community are moms, so this is not a foreign concept, okay? Things are not as strong.
yes. So pelvic floor therapy healed that. I can jump again.
Yeah.
Like why did I suffer? I
Mhm.
kind of thought like this is what I'm gonna deal with, right? But it doesn't have to
Mhm.
be like that. There's a way you can work through it. And I think it's okay to like just get really serious about honoring your body, whether it's lifting weights or doing whatever to mend it from childhood. Just because I think it sharpens your mind as well.
Right, right.
That's
Yeah.
another hack.
Yeah,
I would say another thing that I always do is have you heard of Rent the Runway?
of course. RTR.
I cannot show up how I need to show up without RTR, just being real.
Mhm, mhm,
Because at the end of the day, if you look good, you feel good. And with three kids, they are like putting their little crumbs all over my clothes. They're doing all types of things. I could not be stressed about, oh, this dress has got a stain on it that I just spent
mhm,
3 hours picking out in the mall and then put on. Like, yes, I still have my
mhm,
own clothes, but for work, RTR. I literally, my girls, they're so cute. They're 10 and 8. They will pick out
mhm,
my outfits for the week and help me like curate a look. And then it gets delivered. And then I don't do my laundry. I just do the kids' laundry and I look put
mhm,
together. So it's like little things like that. I think you have to
mhm.
seek out those services that were curated for you. Because there's
Correct.
people that have businesses and things that you can support that will support your lifestyle. But with three kids, trying to be a business entrepreneur, like real estate is very much like nobody's coming to be like, hey Vanessa, do you want me to give you 50 people to list their home and you could just walk this path and you'll just receive it? No, like you have to
Mhm,
actually show up and people have to want to work with you, and in order to do that you have to keep your image up. And with three
mhm,
kids, you can't be worried about your image. You got to worry about,
mhm,
okay, do they know their spelling word? Do they know this and this?
mhm.
So if you can
Right.
cut out, meal prep, cut out laundry, whatever you can cut out or afford to allow yourself a little pleasure, that's what I say is my biggest mom hack.
Oh my God, delegate, delegate, delegate. And I love that you have your girls being a part of the experience because through that, they're also learning just the value and the importance of like taking care of yourself and showing up for the world a certain way because I attribute that for myself from my mom. Like it came from my mom, seeing her get herself ready and putting the time and attention into how she showed up also rubbed off on me. So if for whatever reason in the middle of the night, if the house is on fire, you will walk out looking cute out your sleep. Okay, because your sleep clothes are cute.
I love that. It
Okay, so body 20 signing up.
Yes, but, like, little things like that, it adds to the whimsy
Mhm.
of life, like, you have to enjoy it here, like
Right. And that also includes grocery delivery, which I was just sharing with my sister. I'm like, ma'am, you don't always have to show up to the grocery store. Why don't you just order the groceries and have them delivered to your front door? And that cuts out whatever time that requires because she also has 3 kids. I have a cleaning lady show up every week, and I know that is a privilege, but I work and I call it the cost of doing business. Like me not having to do that allows me to put time, energy, and attention into the family, into the business, and into me not being stretched and stressed.
Right, because you have to maintain here first.
If not, then I'm a mess,
Yep,
and then it all falls apart.
that's
All
the way I
right. So one thing you mentioned is mind and soul, in addition to getting your body back after 3 kids. And you already mentioned body 20, which I will be looking into. But what are some other things? Because I guess it's safe to say that for me, it's also been a fear and a moment of hesitation, thinking about whether I'll have another because I've been working so hard in the gym and on myself to get my mental back, to get my memory back. The fog is real. That mommy fog is crazy. So now that I'm here, I'm like, whoa, can I do this again? But it seems like you did this twice, 2 years apart.
Oh, yeah. So I guess for me personally, my first pregnancy, I gained like 80 pounds. Like I was really,
Girl, I can't even see you 80 pounds plus. Where are
yeah,
those photos?
it was it was pretty crazy. My husband was like, "Oh, you're so lucky to say you've been over 200 pounds." And I was like, "Oh." But afterwards I worked out and I got my body back with abs
Mhm.
and then I was knocked up again. And then,
'Cause you did all the good work, so he was like, "Okay,
and
come
then
hither." Mhm.
I did it again and then got pregnant again. But I think
Mhm.
that for me, the moments in the gym, the dedication that it took to get back, it built more mentally than physically. It wasn't really
Mhm.
about making sure that, I'm like fitting whatever clothes I was fitting or anything. It was to make sure that I'm sharp. It was to make sure that I'm disciplined. It's just
Mhm.
cultivating the things that you need to survive motherhood. I mean, if you think about it, like after you've had a baby, you're carrying a stroller, you're carrying this, you're carrying that. Like you need your core back, like just functionally every
Mhm.
day. You got a kid that's throwing their back out because they don't want to be in the car
Mhm.
seat.
Correct.
Um, so you need that. And so for me, I just always work towards it every single time with the mindset that this is more for my mental health, not I
Mhm.
gotta get back. It was
Yeah, resiliency. It's true. Um, One of the things I think about when I'm in the gym when it's those strength training days, so like this morning, for example, my kid weighs 27 pounds, almost 28, depending on what he ate that day. So I'm carrying him around all day because sometimes we just need to get upstairs because it's time for a bath. And when he doesn't want to walk up the stairs, we just gotta swoop him up and let's go. So when I'm at the gym, I'm like, whatever he weighs, I need to be able to lift more than that. So I don't go for the cute 15-pound dumbbell. I don't go for the 20-pound dumbbell because I'm carrying more than that around a good portion of the day.
yes, that's so true. Like I love that. And I'm not gonna lie, I am one of those people where like if I'm not gonna hit my max, why did I come to the gym? I'm there to
Mhm.
see how strong I am. I'm there to push. I'm not there just to check a box. Like this is where like
Right.
you find out who you are in the gym.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
and it means different. It plays out so differently because I'm in there like getting ready for war. And it's really just getting ready for the day.
but it is war. It's war.
You're
Like,
right. The day is war.
it's a war. There's a tug. There's a spiritual battle. Like if
Hmm.
you're a mother, you're dealing with war every day.
And you know what? That is accurate because every day is different. Sometimes you think it's going to go this way. The calendar says this is what our day is going to look like, at least for me, because I'm a calendar person. And then before you know it, it's just going left, not right.
Oh yeah, and then your children, they're just those beautiful mirrors, and you see this come
Mm,
out of them, and you're like, wait, where did they get that from? And you're like, oh, okay, they
right.
from this person right
Hmm.
here.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
like you're always gonna need to be prepared. And I just love sharpening in the gym. I just really believe that it has a direct effect on your mind.
It sure does. So, Vanessa, I know that you called yourself a non-traditional mom and that you try different things. And you were telling me about AI school. And I know this is a new concept. I've been hearing about it more. And you're one of those parents that is experimenting with AI school. So tell us more about that.
Yeah. So I was listening to some podcast or something, and I heard about Mackenzie Price a couple of years ago, and I just followed this Instagram thing called Alpha School, and I'd been
Mhm,
watching the way that they did school. I've always been excited about education and the different modalities like the Reggio Emilia and the Montessori and all the things. Um,
mhm,
and so I've always been one that is quick to switch my kids, which is probably taboo. They've been to a lot of different schools, but we've gotten a lot of value out of each one. That might not be best for your child, but
mhm,
my children, they have to be flexible. I'm a
mhm. But that
flexi
means
mom.
they probably have a good core home base,
Oh yeah.
which you've created for them. So what happens externally is almost like, all right, well, we're going to flow with this.
Honestly, I'm so glad you said that because it's one of the things that I hear. Um, Alpha School, there's only 23 students there right now. And so we
Mhm.
had the talk. I told my children, I'm saying, you are setting the standard. You're
Mm,
almost, a quarter of the school. So when you come in there, you set the standard. Is this going to be a place where we put other people down, or is this going to be a kind, welcoming environment? What are you going to make your school experience like? And so I just messaged the teacher today. They told me, oh, they're just so secure and kind and da, da, da. And it's like that is done on purpose. And you
that
curate.
is you. That's your parenting
Yeah, I mean,
showing
you
up.
you have to instill that in them. And for us, it's our faith. I mean, we're reading
Mhm.
Bible stories, we're worshiping together. Uh,
Mm,
that's what's important for us, and that's a core of who they are. And I let them know, like, we're not in private school anymore. This is not, your friends don't have the same religion as you, but that
mhm,
doesn't change you. You still show up
mhm,
authentically who you are, and you're still a a humble servant leader. Like that's who you need to be. And
mhm,
so we are at Alpha School. It is completely different than the traditional private Christian classical education that they had,
mhm,
where they were reading Little House on the Prairie and writing in cursive, which I think is incredibly valuable. And I love the rich literature that they used. Um, it was a wonderful experience, but I did decide that, hey, this year we're going to try something new. And so they're at Alpha School now, and it is an AI guided 2-hour learning system. And so they come into class and they do their 2-hour learning, and then they have life skills for the rest of the day. So they're doing interview skills and entrepreneurial skills and financial literacy. They're doing a swim lesson right now where everybody has to learn CPR and how to be lifeguards. So they're really just honing in on those basic skills and making sure that children are equipped for the world. And I think that I saw it in my own business how quickly AI and ChatGPT are changing things. And I
mm,
just felt like I would be doing them a disservice not to give them a taste of, what that might look like in the future
Mhm.
at a young age. And we'll see. As I
Mhm.
said, like, we are so new to this, right? And it's so new. So who knows if how long they'll be there or if they'll be there next year. But
Mhm.
right now, I'm loving what I'm seeing. The feedback from my kids has been amazing. I pick them up from school and they're on fire. They are talking about what they did that day. They have really great,
Wow.
intense conversations. Whereas before, I'd pick them up from school and it's like, "What'd you do?" And it's like, they're drained. So right now, I'm loving it. We'll see. Check back in 6 months. You can message me if you're curious about it.
Yes, for sure.
I'm definitely straight, no chaser.
Mhm.
But so far,
Oh, wow.
it's
Yeah.
an amazing experience for them right now.
Yeah. And what I love about you is that you're also taking your observations and you're learning from the workplace because you're saying you saw how AI, or you're seeing how quickly AI is changing things from the workplace perspective. And you're using these learnings and observations to also influence how you are grooming your own children for the world. And that is like next level.
Oh,
Because you
yeah.
don't have to follow the mold or the plan, because who put this mold and plan together for how education should look anyway? And what we're all hearing is that you do have people in formal education right now preparing for jobs that just won't even exist in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I just feel like I wanna just equip my kids for this world. It's the world that
Yeah.
they're going into is nothing like the one I grew up in. So,
Amen. Right. So speaking of amen, you are so faithful. And your faith seems to be very strong. And earlier you mentioned that God has spoken to you in certain moments.
mhm.
And one thing I'm curious about, because I hear it's different for different people, is how God speaks to you. Like, what does that look like for you? Like, do you hear an actual voice? Is it a whisper? Like, how does that play out for Vanessa?
For me, God speaks to me in, I would say, worship.
Hmm.
Um, I really am big on just praise and worship and acknowledging who God is. And I think that when you can start your day filled up in awe, because when you think about like this, the world and the way that it's created, right? Even if you were to pick up a little rock, there would be just so much intricate detail in that rock. And if you look at the trees and look at all the things around you, it's to me, it's just very apparent that there's an author to that out there. And so he's written my story and I need to connect with him and give him glory in order to exalt that and live that out in the world. And when I worship and like surrender and just humbly cry out to God, and sometimes, it's not always pretty. Like I said, it's sometimes it's like, oh, I feel like there's a slight whisper or knowing in my heart that like this is where I need to go. I feel like that is God for me. And then when there's fear and pushback, that to me is the enemy. And so
Mhm.
anytime there's some fear there, I know that I kind of need to run towards it and just get it over with and attack it in order to
Mhm.
move on through my journey. So that's me personally.
Yeah.
You should definitely find
Yeah.
your own church home and do your
Mhm.
own
Right.
study. Because what works for me may not be the way
Mhm.
that God created you, and everybody has
Mhm.
their own individual journey. But I do believe that, God is the one who curates my life and the way that I go. And
Yeah, thank you
we
for answering
pray and
that.
check in on it.
Mhm. Thank you for answering that, because I am hearing that God speaks to those that believe in different forms. Some hear a voice, some hear a whisper, some see a sign, some see signs, and it shows up in different ways. And those who maybe are not yet on a journey or don't know how to interpret, there are various different ways to interpret, and it can be very different.
I'm so glad you said that because for me, I wrestled with, sending my kids from a Christian school where they're worshiping every day, where they're getting Bible, all the things that I are important to me. They're getting every day at a Christian school. And then thinking about Alpha school, that was something scary for me, right? So I surrendered that. I prayed. I let God know, like, that is freaking me out, right? Tell me why we had all these events before school started for Alpha School, where you just kind of meet other parents and they show you the experience and what your kid would be doing day to day. I prayed for God to give me a sign.
Mhm.
Why one of the there I don't let many people watch my kids. My sister is probably one of the only people. I don't have a
Mhm.
ton of family out here. Why did my sister get a gig job helping Alpha School run this event that they had invited us to?
Stop.
So my sister was going to be one of the people that was with the children while we were learning about the Alpha School education model. You can't tell me that God did not
Mhm.
orchestrate that. And I think
Yeah,
that's,
trust. You trust your sister, and that was like the bridge to trusting almost that process.
and why would she have a random job, just a one-day
Mhm.
job at Alpha School? I didn't know about it. Just showed up and there she is. I'm like, wait.
Stop it. You didn't even know.
Yeah, no. So she does like brand ambassador work and marketing and gig
Mhm.
marketing and things like that. I had no idea she was going to be there.
And you get there, and the only person, because you don't know that many people out there, is there
Yeah.
to
So
watch the kids.
so I think that if you seek God, if you ask, he'll show himself to you. And I think for me, that Alpha School thing, it was something that in my head I felt like, okay, this makes sense, but I'm scared. I'm terrified.
Mhm.
But I was like, let me just take a step. I'm gonna take a step and I'm gonna pray about it. And then God's gonna show up. And so it's like sometimes it is
Mhm.
signs or and I believe in that. I don't think that anything happens by chance.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And another thing that really spoke to me in our conversation today, is you encouraging people to be flexible, and that it's okay to flex. And in certain seasons, you can be in your money making season. It can be the season for going after all the coins. And then you can have other seasons where it's really about creating lifestyle and focusing on your children and what they're experiencing and how they're experiencing the world. Or they may have their own moments of struggle that are unexpected, and being there for them through those struggles as well. And I'm very much learning to, one, give myself the grace and the flexibility to show up in the moment for how I need, and to be very present in whatever moment that is.
Yes, that's so beautiful. That's so
Mhm.
important. I mean, is when it comes down to that's what they're gonna remember, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So good of a conversation. We can definitely be here for a bit longer, but I do want to be mindful of your time, and I also want to create space for us to come back and check in to see how Alpha School is going, and then also just to see how this co-living business idea for mommies is going. So
I
creating
haven't
space
launched
for
that yet,
more.
but we'll see.
I know, but it seems like it's brewing and something is there.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of yourself in this life you've created for yourself?
I think I'm proud of myself. Um, for me, it's always just like I think it's just more of being open to what I need to be doing to help others. I think like I have to just be open to service, right? So I'm proud of myself, but I also am just keeping my eyes open like okay, where are things headed? Where am I supposed to be flowing to or where am I going to be used next, right? And I think that's the most important thing for me, rather than a sense of pride. That's just like I don't know. I struggle with that one, just to be
Mhm.
honest.
Well, you have so much to be proud of. You have three little humans that you are grooming and raising so well to be amazing contributors to the world. So that's something to be super proud of. We didn't even touch on romantic relationships. So that is definitely for the next conversation. But it seems like you take very much lots of pride in loving yourself and showing up well for the world. So that's something to be proud of. And you are also top of the top in what you're doing from a real estate professional perspective, which also creates opportunity for other people. And I would say that's a lot for you to be proud of as well.
Oh, thank you. And if I can do a shameless plug, if you have
You better
any
plug.
real estate needs, whether that be anywhere in globally, I'm happy to connect you and help you and find a professional in your local area. My website is vanessagloballuxury.com. If you want to connect with me, please check it out. I just launched it. I'm excited about it. Send me a message and connect with me.
Absolutely. We will share all your contact information. We will share all the ways that people can learn more about you, connect with you, rent your Airbnb, book your Airbnb, and Airbnbs, plural, as well as learn about some of the things that you mentioned, Body 20, Alpha School, etc. So as we wrap up, we like to ask, what is your mompreneur superpower? You have named quite a few, but if you could answer that directly for us, what is a mommy superpower, mompreneur superpower that you have discovered?
Oh, I would say my superpower would just be always ready for the next big thing. We're just
Period.
always moving.
Period. And it seems like you are just open to whatever the next thing is, but not
Yeah.
just the next thing, the next big thing.
Yes, yes. You have to enjoy it, do it big, take risks, have fun. So,
Period, as the kids would say. Period. Vanessa, thank you so much. This was so much fun. I learned so much. We just flowed in conversation, and I definitely look forward to the next time that we are able to connect and have some mommypreneur talk.
yay, thank you.
If you found this advice helpful, give this video a thumbs up and drop your biggest takeaway in the comments below.